it. And like I said, this isn't like, this is a different type of painting technique. I don't like the course I took. I don't know if you know, if you're familiar, it was a portrait class, and the guy is out of the UK. His name's Lewis Smith. He's online a lot.
Yeah.
And it's like the academic method.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So we're like every, every tiny detail is being painted at a certain time, and we're layering and whatever. So this is a really new approach to painting, which I'm trying to understand better. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I like to, I think I came more from a drawing background. I think I really draw with my paint as opposed to paint. I want to learn to paint. It's two different things.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But the
So
drawing thing is a great thing to have in your back pocket because you need it so much.
yeah.
So yeah, you can't beat that. But yeah, learning to paint is just slightly different. It's you're looking at big shapes and things like that, breaking down things.
And
And
and paint strokes. Like, I looked at the paint stroke video you gave us.
yeah.
All that is something I need to learn. All of that. So anyway, just so you know, I know you're
Oh,
busy.
the paint strokes those are my strokes. I use those. You get and those are just for every. I mean, you learn as you go. It's just that's the way it go in painting. It's all experience. Sorry.
Right. Right.
So yeah, you got to experience a lot of things. I just gave you some. There are so many more. I just named them because basically it's the only way to get them across.
Right. No, no, I thought
You
that was great.
got to think of the stroke. Oh,
Yeah. Um,
oh,
what else was I thinking? Yeah. So what I was thinking after all these classes I've been taking
mm-hmm.
is really painting is actually more about learning to manipulate the paint on the canvas, as opposed to drawing is drawing, getting things in proportion and size. So I feel like there's two different things happening that I finally discovered.
Yeah, well, good for you.
Well,
Well, you
Jim,
got to discover. That's the
I'm
thing about
just
learning this stuff is when you discover it on your own, it stays with you so much better than uh, just me telling you that this is how to do it. Doing it and experiencing it is really the only way to go.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm asking you though, is that the right way to think about this? Because I don't know. Like me, that's kind of like what I discovered, but I
Uh,
don't know that that's what I should be thinking. Like I'll tell you, I just have such a hard time starting, you
okay.
know?
Yeah. Well, starting,
Is
I
this gonna
find
be
that the starting the most exciting part of a painting for me, because that's where you draw it out, you figure it out, you lay it out, and then when you start putting in color, it just start, it's just a build. It's just a really uh, creative, really the best, one of the most creative parts of the painting,
All
and
right.
so that's you know, I find that exciting. Yeah, finishing it up and that other stuff. That's all technique and things like that. Everybody can learn that stuff, but
All right.
the build is where you want to, be exciting. Okay, let me see. We
All
got
right. Thanks, Jim. Hang on.
no worries. I see. I got my phone. I'm set. Okay, we're all recording. All right. Well, let's get a move on here. Uh, Last week's painting, mine needs some more work yet, but there are some really good ones, really, really good ones, and exciting ones. So I would say most people finished them. There was a couple that needed some more work, but otherwise, I thought you guys did really great on that, and it was not an easy one. That's pretty tough. You have having that's a even though it looks like a very simple scene, there's a lot in it. the boy, the dog, the boat, the water, the reflections, the lily pads, like them. It and for an hour and a half, it, it was a lot. So hey, but thanks for trying it. Mine, like I said, oh God, oh God, oh geez, more work. That's all it is, just more work, fixing them up. But today is palette knife week. It's something totally different. Than it is painting, but we're gonna, it's just using the regular palette knife. I have a few different palette knives. I even got these ones that are really, really have a couple edges on them and things like that. This is great for grass. I didn't know it. So little things you don't know. Knowing your tools in painting is one of the best things you can do. We know the difference between a bristle brush and a synthetic brush, what they can do. And then, the palette knife. The palette knife is one of the tools I go to at the end of a painting when I'm looking at trying to loosen it up, freshen it up, because a lot of times you're going to be at the end of a painting, you're going to be sitting there, finagling things till just they're perfect. And then all of a sudden you look at it and everything's perfect. So sometimes the palette knife, you come back in with a palette knife, put a couple marks in there and stuff. All of a sudden that perfectness goes away and everything settles down together. That's what I look for in the palette knife, and it really comes in. It's a great tool. It's a tool. It's a good tool to use, and it's So we're really going to go full board with it today. I'm just going to do a 12 by 16. I'm not doing anything really big today, because you are just putting it on, scraping it on, scraping it on, scraping it off. But I thought I'd do this little barn scene. I had this out for a while. I thought it was kind of nice, and I figured, well, it's a big shape, and a big shape sometimes can be very boring. I mean, especially when it's just a side of a barn. But excuse me, if you put it in with texture, you put it in with the right amount of paint, or less paint, less paint, more paint, it can become something very interesting. So that's what we're going to be working with, especially with the sky. Look at that sky. The sky is boring, very boring. But sometimes you put it in with a knife. Sometimes it'll be interesting. It just takes a little bit longer than just being able to brush it in, but it can be visually exciting. Toughest little thing on this painting, of course, will be the cows in the corner and the cow on the inside there, but that's okay. You got to have, yeah. I see there are some guys out there who just use palette knife for paintings, and they are like super realistic. And they do, like David Chavez, just beautiful stuff. I mean, it's just, you can get really gorgeous things, and you can be as tight as you want. You can get in there. I do eyeballs with the knife because I just like to. I don't like bringing out my brush. So we're going to be doing this, and so let's get at it. Since I'm running late here anyway, but it's Saturday. We got all day to paint, right? It's going to be so much fun. So let me pull it up, and then we'll go over it a little bit. Here we go. Oh, nice, easy one. Look at that. Everybody can paint that. Okay. There you go. Well, let's see the barn here. As you can see, yeah, we have the cow over here and a couple cows over there. And they're black and white, separations and things. I want this to be fun. So I'm looking at these guys and I'm going, yeah, they're going to be purple cows. And that's why I kind of pushed the color on this a little bit in my Photoshop area. Just push the colors on these cows because I wanted to see, because they're black. And if you don't push the colors or lighten them up a little bit, you won't be able to see any structure. You won't be able to see shoulders and rib cages and, sometimes heads even popping out of there. And then back in here too, you can see there's another cow in here. And look at all that stuff I'm going to make you guys paint, right? Look at that. Okay. No, there's not that much there. But it's a simple barn, just drawing it out a little bit things. There is a barn back here too. That is another barn back there. Make sure, when you lay it out, you get that peak in there back there, because you don't want it to feel like a second part of this barn. There's enough pieces to this barn that you don't want to have anything thrown in there. So make sure you get that peak in there. Also over here on this side, I'll leave it there instead of bouncing around. Sorry, I'm making you guys dizzy. That is back there behind the roof. Here is some land, and I would say watch that little area there is going to be, because look at how straight it is and how parallel it runs with the roof. It looks like it could be part of another roof, but it's really part of that background coming back in here at the back end. So I would say soften that, make sure that's soft, and make sure there is a difference between the angles. Puddle. This puddle is interesting. You can look at it and you can just feel that there was a tractor or something in that puddle, making that puddle bigger and squishing the dirt up around it. You can almost see the tire tracks in it. I think it's okay to have it down there. It's almost a little bit too much in the middle. This is going to be kind of fun because we're going to be able to shove it out of the way pretty easily with a knife. That's what a knife is good for. It's really, sometimes you can just take the flat of the knife, just push things over, and not lose a whole lot of drawing, things like that. Sometimes paint you could just shift it over a little bit if you need to. I would say the gates on this thing, don't worry about the gates till the end. A palette knife is perfect for gates, laying it down and things like that. You can just easily make those on top, so don't get caught up on that at all. And especially also with this big old wall here, fence here. Yeah, don't worry about that either. The thing is, that's a kind of a big spot in the painting, and it is boring as hell. So a palette knife, some palette knife texture on that will definitely help it, give it a sense, and also it looks so brand new. I mean, not brand new, but doesn't have any real character to it. There's no leans or little busted boards or anything like that. Palette knife kind of can, if you pay attention what you're doing, can give you that kind of feeling pretty easily. So and it'll be kind of fun. The dirt in the back here on the white part of the barn, that too will be a lot of fun to do. I would say hold off on painting the cows in till the end. Basically one of the things about palette knife is you almost have to work back to forward. And that's what I'm thinking about here. You're doing the background. Usually I never paint with this guy first. I probably won't either here, but it's gonna be you're gonna be done sooner than I usually would ever do it. But there's really nothing there, so they're not too worried about it. I guess I don't have to really change that at all. But the building itself, we're going to spend a lot of time on the building. We're going to have some nice, beautiful darks in here. I love these darks. These darks are so exciting. They're just squares, and palette knife is perfect for squares. Any little line in these buildings up here, and all these kind of things. Palette knife's perfect for putting these things in. I hate pulling out my knife, pulling out a tiny brush early in a painting, to put in details when I can just drop them in and get probably a more exciting look to it. Just dropping it in with a knife. So a knife is a great tool, and this should be an interesting example of what it can do. Any questions? Okay, let's head over to the palette and see what we have going. Oh, wrong one. Okay. Basically, I'm going to be using a few tools. I am going to be using some brushes for drawing, but another few things I'll be using is my regular palette knife, what I use for everyday use. A few extra. I have quite a few palette knives here. You know, I got long, skinny ones. I have these guys that are pretty interesting. I don't really use them though. I have a few of them, but I don't use them. I got a small one. I'm going to keep that one out because that can be helpful. But you do have different ranges of palette knives, and even have flat ones.
Hey, Jim.
Yeah.
Where did you get? I've never seen a serrated one like that. That one that you had. Where did that come from?
Well, my daughter got it for me when she used to work at Blix years ago, and she just found it and got it for me for like birthday presents. So that's where a lot of my goofy palette knives came from. So it's an interesting thing. And you think, okay, it only goes this way, but if you go like this, God, it makes great grasses.
Yeah, I bet.
Because they do it a little bit different, and you can just swirl around. We'll check it out. So that, and I'll take the small one just for the smaller things. Sometimes windows and things like that, being able just to drop them in. And usually, there's so many different little ways to use the palette knife. And these are my erasers. These guys come in really handy too. They can be used just like a palette knife and remove the paint just like putting it on. And these things are really handy too. Is another tool I'll use when I do bigger lines. This is a weed squeegee. It's a regular squeegee, but it's just made of the same stuff, and you can just lay it down and just make a line, straight line. I even got bigger ones than these, just in case. You get them at Amazon. You get them for pretty cheap. They're not a couple bucks. It's a nice tool. Removes paint. So that and these rubber tip brushes and things, those are really great for removing paint too. Over here, paint wise, going to go with just our basic colors. We got cad yellow white. I say basic colors, and I go here. I couldn't find my cad yellow light, but so I went with cad yellow medium, which for this painting, it's very monotone anyway. I mean, not monotone, but it's not really bright. So I don't really need anything too bright so I don't need anything to lighten it up. Cad red light, definitely going to be in there. Cad orange, probably find its way in the painting. This is ochre, cad orange, ochre, or not cad orange ochre, just orange ochre. Here is supposed to be oxide red, and I know I was looking for that right when class started. Alizarin crimson, cobalt blue hue, phthalo green. This is was burnt sienna underneath, but it's oxide, transparent oxide. This is burnt sienna or burnt umber. Sorry, God dang it, burnt umber. I don't have much left of it. I'm trying to just pull the skin off it and save it. I do have some cad red medium here. and some carmine up there, but those are from other paintings. I might use the cad red medium, but you can mix cad red medium, make cad red medium with alizarin and cad red light. So all I need is there, I'll just use this. This is going to be Terra Rosa. Terra Rosa, sorry. Oh, there it is. There's my outside red light. Too late. That's it. That's where I go. All right.
Jim, I have one question. You've got orange ochre. I don't have that. What color should I use?
Just use ochre.
Okay.
I have orange ochre out because I was painting golden, and it was just out there. So I haven't switched over to grab my ochre. So I don't throw it away. I would have to scrape out the spot, so I just leave it. I probably won't be using it anyway. Color wise, this isn't too bad color. It's on my monitor. It's a lot brighter. So we're gonna mix up some darks. Darks are going to be the important things here. We definitely need to have want to get those in early and underneath some things. Definitely you want to do the windows. Don't worry about I say that, but then you got a couple dark cows here, right? But we're not going to worry about that. But I like to worry about the things behind them. So so let's start there. Definitely going to need some warms and some cools. We're going to start off with I'm going to start off with blue and burnt umber. If you have burnt umber, when you paint with palette knife, you got to understand one thing: you're going to need more paint than you normally would with a brush, because that's just the way it is. You got to use bigger gobs of paint. So if you're going to make these piles, we'll make bigger piles and we'll try to make less piles. So bigger piles, but less. So this is going to be burnt umber and blue. Now I'm going to be using burnt umber in this painting. That means if I use any color I put it in, will be dry tomorrow. So those guys will definitely be dry. And it will make a lot of anything it touches will probably be dry. So that's just the way burnt umber is. It's one of those colors that does that, because it's made of dirt and it just sucks oil. So burnt sienna, nice gray. This one's supposed to be on the blue side. I like it on the blue side there. That's pretty good. Also, I'm going to do blue and oxide red. Well, I don't have oxide red. I do have Terra Rosa. I'm sorry. Terra Rosa and oxide red. Looking for a warm, dark. And what that's going to do, I want to get that in the middle of these dark areas, because a warm dark inside a cool dark will take you back into space. Will take you back into things. So after you paint it with the cool dark, you put a little bit of warm dark in the middle of it. That'll bring you back into the area, take you back into that hayloft, just where you want to be. And it also, it's red, so it does have, when it's used in a different area, sometimes it'll bring you forward. So we'll probably be using this in the front edge of this thing. And of course, I look at that pile and going, oh, that's why I'm using a small canvas, because I don't want to have to make huge piles. Okay. So those are some main darks. I'm going to do a couple other ones. Just it's going to be some cow colors. And then I'm going to go with green and alizarin. Phthalo green and alizarin. Definitely I want a good, strong one on the alizarin side, because that'll make a nice... These are probably both going to be closer to the purple side. because I'm thinking I'm going to need more purples than anything else on this area here. I'll get some purples out of those, but these are going to be some nice, sweeter purples and darks and things. I'm also going to do blue in alizarin too. And then I'm going to make the barn color. Blue and alizarin. These guys are going to be really nice in there. Definitely on the cows. They are one of the, I always tell you, this is one of my darkest colors. And I still, but it's also sweet. So it just has a nice, it just can bring out some things pretty neatly, nicely. Yeah. Okay, so these colors, let's also, first thing I want to do is just bring them back a little bit to see what I have. Wait, one more color I'm going to need. Sorry. We kind of need a neutral color, gray. Oxide red or in phthalo green would be great together. I have Terra Rosa, but oxide red light and phthalo green. And those will be my last colors. Doesn't sound like, pretty much my same colors I've been using the whole time here. So not a big deal. But I was looking at the ground, and that's where I was going, oh, I got to get that in there because that's in there. That's going to be in the ground. That's going to be in the greens. That's going to be in the wood board. It's going to be in the dirt. And it's going to be in the background. So I got to get going on it. All right. So I'm going to take these colors and split them. That's why I'm saying bigger piles. But the one thing, it's tough to get with palette knife is transparencies. So using these darks and up here, usually you like to use them and try to get transparent with them with the brush. But with the knife, you really don't get that because it's at the beginning of the painting and they just don't come out that way. All right. Let's see. I'm going to add a little bit of white value. I'm probably going to go, if you go for the grass, that's about an 8. So I'm going to mix these up. I'm going to have to run off for a second. I'll be right back. I got my burn umber and blue just left me. I got to be right back. 1 second. Keep working.
You're not doing that.
sorry, back. You guys should have all these colors laid out with some grays now. As you can see, some of these burnt umbers and blues gonna make some nice barn colors. Should help with a lot of the wood and things. Definitely need a little bit more into this one. And I got to make the home pile again. That's really not a, as you can see, that's really a 5. It's not a dark enough to be where I need it. So I'm gonna darken it up a little bit and remake the
Hey,
home
Jim,
pile.
I don't have burn umber because I haven't used it for a long time. Is there something else that I could use?
Yeah. You could use burnt sienna.
I do.
Okay, burnt sienna will do it too.
Okay, thanks.
Oh, but burnt sienna, yeah, you probably don't need it. I mean, burnt sienna will do it.
So, Jim, you're getting that more on the tan side?
Yeah, right now it is on the tan side. I am just gonna take and push it back a little, make it a little bit darker right now. It's my home pile got taken up real quick there, so I'm gonna tone this back down. That's pretty close. That's close enough to what I need. As you can tell, that these two colors will do a lot on this whole area, bottom area.
What color is that second one, Jim?
The second one is on the burnt sienna side, or burnt umber side. So these are blue and burnt umber. And this is the blue side. This is the burnt umber side. These next colors I want to get there too are going to be really, oh God. Sorry. Just grabbing a ton of paint of white. I'm talking about trying to make bigger piles. And the first thing I did was, that's not a bigger pile. Phthalo green in there too now. That was, let's do this. Oh. Anyway.
Really blue.
Yeah, blue and
Mine is gray.
yeah, mine. Yeah, you just a little bit more blue into it. We got gray, but gray's not. It's a nice thing to have that in between. Let's take it a little bit easier on this one. Yeah, there we go. This is the red side of it. So you can just see that how that's going to fit down in here really nice. And then we'll go to our alizarin and phthalo green. And of course, same thing as I just did. I just kind of over pushed the white. This is supposed to be in the cows anyway, so I'm going to take it light, easy on that. And the phthalo green side, as you can see, it's really green. Probably need to go more red in that. I'm putting more alizarin into it. At this point, there you go. That's a nice one right there. That's cow color. That'll definitely be some cow things there. I'm not going to lighten that up at all. Blue and alizarin, same thing. Take it a little bit easier on the white I added. Yeah. No, I just pushed it. Did not add much white. And it just took it right to about a 7. So take it back down one step. You can see it's on the, and then the red side, just a little bit too much red or white added to this red side. Boy, I have blue to both those a little bit. This blue just not, just a little bit too much on the red. I need it a little bit closer. There you go. So I got to make up some more full colors on those guys. Ooh, that's probably enough for both. This is phthalo green and oxide red, light. There we go. This is what I was hoping to get for down in here. That mixed with some purple should be good. Oh, and I just kind of added too much white to it. Added enough white that I knocked off the green. The green went away, or the green came forward. Yeah, that would be nice. Okay. Get everything off my knife, or I don't have to go back too far. All right. Basically the reds. Simple, simple, simple. Let's keep it as simple as possible. I'm going to start off with a alizarin. A couple of alizarins. I could do alizarin. Yeah. I tell you, here on the printout, I would say it's probably, you could go oxide red light and cad red. But I'm thinking now it's oxide red and alizarin together. At this point, to get this kind of a red, it's going to be the dark side. Yeah, this is pretty good. This is, let's see where this goes. Let's keep this one on the alizarin side if I can. One more alizarin. They look the same. They really did not change. I'm going to steal a little bit here. Last my alizarin. All right. Let's go with that. And then I'm going to go with a different, and warm it, do a warm version of it too. Would be again oxide red, light, and cad red, light. I just need some warmth sometimes in these things, even when you get this where you are. I might even put some warmth in these guys instead of putting white. As you can tell, not much difference. I need more oxide there. Not a big deal, big change. But it is all over throughout the painting, so you probably got to need a few things. This right here, down here. I go 3 or 4 paintings without filling up my alizarin, and all of a sudden, one painting, and you gotta fill it up. One last one I want to do here is alizarin and orange. Maybe just one. There we go. There we go. Look at that. That's the color I need. Yeah, this is really, really close to what I need. Alizarin and orange. Sometimes you got to play with it. Get one that's on the alizarin side. Keep it really rich. All right. I'm going to split these piles and then bring them down to about like an 8-2 because this thing is pretty dark. I want to see what these guys do, if they do anything at all. Then we'll do the sky, and I think that should do it. I mean, we probably could find the sky up there pretty easily too. I'm looking at the Liz blue and oxide up there, and I'm thinking that's pretty close to what we need. Should be able to change it around pretty easily. Okay, so I'm just adding enough white to take it to about 8 and just leave it. And the white just kind of grays it out nicely. As you see, it's just a little cool, but has a lot of color in it. So just a touch more white. Yeah, just a little cool. So let's go on the warmer side. This is supposed to be the, well, maybe this isn't the warmer side. That's almost more pink. That's really close to what I need though. Okay. Now these oranges, they should cool off interestingly. It's nice to have a nice, so we don't want, when you're working with a knife, you do need to have kind of broad steps in your colors. Or you know, it's going to be kind of flat. Because the one thing a knife isn't, it's not subtle. The subtleties are not going to be, are tough to do. I mean, like I just said, there are some guys who can do it, but it takes a while. I always kind of find palette knife kind of like watercolor for oil guys. You paint quickly. You got to paint quickly and lay it down. So this has got what, real pink. It looks really pink here, but when I put it up against here, it's right about the right value. So I'm gonna leave that one. That was orange and alizarin. And this should be that should be the orange side. This is the alizarin side. Getting the right value. Yeah, in my painting, this is the color. But they're too close. So I'm just gonna add just a touch more orange to this one. This is supposed to be my orange one. So I can see just a little bit of difference. There we go, that should do it. Okay, sky. We have enough cow colors up there. I'm gonna have to probably remake my alizarins in blue there, but we have pretty much all the colors to make this painting now, except for the lights. And there's only a few lights in there. So let's start off the blue for the sky and get that going. I'm gonna make up my own blue. I'm gonna keep it down in here. And then we'll do some cow colors. Definitely blue. And if you have Terra Rosa or oxide, no, if you just want a little warmth to the sky. And I got some red here. I do have some alizarin in here mixed in. It's in my white. There's not much you can do with that. We're going to go for a basic color and then we'll switch it over. Knock it out a little bit. Okay, just a little bit more blue. White. Getting closer. So it just blue just has a touch of little oxide red in it. I had oxide red light, but I also put a little bit of transparent oxide in it too. It's that's warm. It's warmer. It fits really good there, but it feels like it needs to be a little cooler at the top. So this is going to be my base tone. I'm going to split it into a couple piles.
It doesn't look like that.
And that's it. Lower pile, I'm going to add just a little bit of orange to it. Just a scraping of orange to it. Warm it up. That's just for this bottom area. Scraping of orange. If you don't, I'm talking scraping, I just want a hint of blowing it up. And I'm gonna add some white to it too. Just to get me into that area. To the top, I'm just going to take some barn color and add a little red to my blue sky. This will just go up to the top area, come on down. So it's just a little bit of alizarin, basically. Really, that's all it is. Well, this one has alizarin and orange in it, but so it grays it out and puts it up there. Now, good up top. Be nice to have just a little bit of a value change, so it's a little bit darker than that, but that's okay. That's my basic tones. A lot of times, what I'm going to end up doing, just like when we paint snow, some of these light blues are pretty much what you're going to need down here, or these guys. So I'm going to just say these guys are good. I'm going to leave you guys alone a little bit. But if I'm going to need to make some blue, some lighter stuff, it might come from the alizarin and blue pile. No, that's going to be too sweet. That's too cool. So it's probably oxide. This is, yeah. Thinking about that for there. Yeah, that will work. Just got to get a little bit higher key. So blue, going to my blue and oxide red light pile and lightening it up a little bit. Couple steps, doing both sides. Taking them up to a value of about 4 at the most. Looking at that going, I think if it was on the blue side, it'd be good too. Right now it's still on the pink purple side. Anyway, I might take, if I did that, I might take all you guys down like this to about a 4. But as you can see, you do, since we're using knife and everything else, as we get going, we'll be able to throw this stuff in there and get in here a little bit too. All right, so here's the colors. We start off with blue and burnt umber. If you don't have burnt umber, you just use burnt sienna. Burnt sienna, you know, just push a little bit more blue into the color. That's really about it. So, and then we brought them down to about an 8. These guys over here, these are blue and oxide red light, and we brought them down to an 8. This is on the blue side, this is on the red side. Then we did phthalo green and alizarin, and we brought those guys down. We brought them down again to about a 4. These guys were brought down to about a 4. Over here we have alizarin and blue. You can see them here. a little sweet. I'm looking at cows though. I'm thinking about purple cows. So that's what I'm thinking about. I'm talking dots, not full blown purple cows, but I want to have some fun with them. And sometimes to make them stand out, you just got to have some really push in these darks. You got to push the colors. And I brought those guys down a little bit farther. I did not bring down this pink here, pinky blue, down to about a 4-2 as I had the color out. I'm going, okay, that might work. Also, I really do need to bring the greens down. I did not do a grass color, so basically I'll take this color and probably add some yellow to it for grass. And then the red side, color should be a nice burnt, barn wood color too. Should be able to get in there. As you can see, it's on there. Okay, so that's what we did. And if I do need to push colors, I'll just keep pushing them here. I start off with alizarin and oxide red light, pushing these two together, really pretty close to the barn color. Probably a little bit more on the oxide red side, just that little bit of warmth in here. These two are so close together, you won't be able to tell one from the other. You kind of almost, like I said, the palette knife is not very subtle. So subtleties are going to get lost. So oxide red side, alizarin side. Then I did oxide red and orange, bringing it down just to have some colors. I'm not sure if this is the right color, but sometimes you can throw them in there and have some fun. This color is probably a lot closer than what I thought it was going to be. This is oxide red and orange. I just need to make sure I have a pile here of this. And that's the alizarin side. Okay. Then I went to the sky. Sky was nothing but more than blue and white, and then a little bit of oxide red light and just a scratch of transparent oxide in it to gray it out. And I did the home valley right here. I lightened it up a lot and added a little bit of cad orange to it because I wanted to get near this area down in here. And then over here I added some alizarin and orange from this pile, scratch of this pile into this to get it just a little bit purplier. See, more like that. Like I said, subtleties will get lost. So sometimes you need to have a good step in between your colors. And that's what we're going to go to war with on this painting. You're going to find a lot of these lights and stuff. We're going to might have to lighten them up just one more step, but not by much. I'm going to tone my canvas with a warm, probably, I think I'll just go with oxide red light. I'm just going to go with that. I mentioned somebody about that. So let's do this. I'll stay with it. And I'll get cameras rolling here in a second. Cameras up. All right. Now, make sure your wrist is nice and warmed up because there's going to be some heavy duty scraping going on here. I'll bring you guys in as close as I can on this one. Yeah. I just got to be able to get my wrist in there. All right. I think I don't have to mute you guys. There's a little strong noise there. So, you have to unmute yourself if you want to talk. Uh, there you go. I can work like that. All I need is, since I'll be using a knife, I'll be okay. I am going to let you use your brush to tone it and to draw it in. And also, I'm going to leave it like this too. You can go as far as you want with you know, the brush. I mean, afterwards, you can do what, fix it up. Don't lose a painting that you like or anything just because of, uh, you know, you need to use a brush. That's so I'm just toning it with this. Like I said, and I'll rub it in and draw it in. So let's. Well, it's a little dark, but we'll wipe that out. We're going to concentrate on the lower part of the painting mostly, though, today. We have the colors for the sky, but we don't have to, as long as I got a value up here that's close to what it should be, we're good. All right. This one splits a little funky. You got the background back in here. One of the things I'm going to do is this area back here that goes straight across parallel with that roof is take and turn it. So it's going downhill, and the background back in here can kind of sweep up like it's going down, like it's like there's a hill there, right? That's what I want to do. Give it enough room, like 1.5 inches on the side here. Coming down and over here, about 2/3. Maybe more right in here. Yeah, I can't. Gotta be able to get everything in here. A little wider, maybe. Bottom about, let's put it at 1/3. Then we can get the fence in here. And 1/3. I mean, what am I talking 1/3? That starts at the 1/3 of the painting and reaches back in here. And then the ground and the puddle, push the puddle back this way a little bit. So that's your puddle and your grass and your things here kind of happening. That should be fun. That should be a little fun to paint. Like I said, don't worry about that part of it. We can put that in pretty easy. Okay. So it does go back into slight perspective. It does go up, somewhere way up there. There is a point where these two sides meet. So that's where perspective of the sky is. Yeah, that's pretty high. Okay. Cow's going to get right in here. But you only put one cow in, that's fine. I'm just going to put marks for other cows. Make sure that this cow has plenty of room here when I start putting them in. Roof line from the little box to there. Okay. So about center. Split the thing about half. This is going to be a dark. Be the other dark. I'm gonna go back in here. So perspective wise. Just gonna mark a few little things. I always like the little barn doors, how many barn doors there are on these things. You know, this kind of little stuff you don't need, to put in now, but I'm putting them in. I'm just, you know, putting it in a little bit. I straightened out a little bit of the perspective going this way. Okay. Oh yeah. Cows and stuff. I'm not gonna draw in too much of them, but they are basically, long, rectangles, basically for the body, just with soft edges. So nothing too much. Only ones I'm going to have to really paint is this guy and maybe the head or something back there to make sense. Make sure it's set, and then this guy here just a little bit there. Okay. Okay, a little bit. Let's see. Yes. And I talked about this building back here. It did say something about it, making sure you get that point in. I don't really, doesn't can be any, width here. So. All right, well, let's get a move on. You know, the nice thing about a knife is that, you can fill this thing in pretty quickly, but I mean, always got the straight edge. I'm going to start off with my darkest darks. I'm going to start off with the blue in burnt umber. I just want to mark these darks in here, coming down where these guys are. This one goes up a little higher. This one's just a hair lower, but this is right on that line here of white, and where the white and the white part of the barn and the red part meet. Also, I'm sure you probably can't see it or anything, but perspective wise, that going back means this area here inside the barn here will be going back too. And we'll catch the back edge of the barn right about there from here. So it comes back in little, so little teeny. I don't think there's really any other areas in the book that we are painting like that. Okay. Oops. Now, anything else? I'm just, I might put some of this color like where I'm thinking the fence and the grass is. Just to scrub it in here a little bit to get a little bit of color going. Thinking about just a little tone in there. Yeah, where else it pops out at me? Not really, not too much yet. Let's go on the brown side. And that's where I would say, I'm going to put a little bit of warmth, the warm side of this color inside the barn. I like the basic darkness, but I also want a little bit of warmth in the middle. Also, I didn't do this guy up here too. Gosh. It goes all the way up here. I have to go back to the blue. It has a lot of red in it though. We'll be getting there. All right. A lot of these colors are going to go by really quick. I might put a little bit. Okay, I'm going to go to the blue and oxide side, where it's just blue and oxide, so it has a little coolness to it. It's on the blue side. I was thinking about this roof back in here, just pushing in a little, scraping a little bit into that. And then coming down in here. Oh, I didn't do the brown. Shit. Sorry, I did do that brown, but I didn't do the ground. Sorry. Come back here. Burn umber and blue on the burn umber side. So it's blue. And the puddle and stuff, I was going to move it back in here a little bit. There we go. And then just kind of have it come out of here. And I know we were talking about this just earlier about drawing in your painting. And that's where one of the things is with this knife. You are basically drawing and scribbling. It's so much like a pastel. If I was doing pastels again, this is almost what is equal to pastel, because you're mixing your colors. You're doing about the same thing at the beginning of the painting. Is so much like that, because you got to start with the scratching. You got to start putting it on, and you're layering your colors. Trying to get colors to, to work together. Okay. Also, I'm going to look. This is just burnt umber and blue, and right on the other side of this fence here too. Right where it's right at the ground. I'm just going to draw a line here for that. put in a line here for the post. That's where I use the side of my knife. You just draw a line. When I got that from Richard Schmid. That's what one of the first things I learned watching him was the knife, how important this knife really was as a tool and what it could do, and that a brush couldn't do. And when you lay in a night line like that, it's amazing. So
What color are you using right now?
still blue and burnt umber on the burnt umber side. I did move over a little bit before this, but I had to come back because I don't know, I got excited and kind of ran away from this color really quick, a little bit too soon. Because what it should be doing here is doing some of the shadow work where the red's going to come in, but the shadow work underneath things, I should be doing it in this color. It's just a little bit of warmth. Sometimes you just got to get used to painting with it. And I can stay within the lines. It's like it's pretty easy to, lay it in there and make straight lines. So you can make really good straight lines just by laying it in the right spot and then just touching it, lining things up. Not like that one, but more like that one. I'm just going to run this down. I'm going to drag this color down a little bit too. It makes such a great noise, right? Ugh. It's not chalk on chalkboards, at least, right? I'm going to get some of this shadow going here. A lot of work to do. So I'm just going to go through my burns. And I might come back even on the blue side of this and do this shadow here a little bit, put a little blue in it for the roof like line right here. Just to try to give it some space. So this is going to be real warm, and then keep this side cool so I can get this to fall back into space here a little bit. So front edge on the burnt umber side, maybe the side edge over here, the blue side, burnt umber. All right. I'm going to also take, back to the burnt umber side. I'm going to run it that brown side. And just run it up the bottom of this fence here. Scrub it in a little bit. Just you gotta start building color. You gotta build this stuff. And that's what I was doing here on the ground. Okay. All right. Bring in the browns. Just pushing a little bit into this background too, like whatever I had left on that burnt umber side here. I took that hill up a little higher, didn't I? It's a snow hill now. I just, gotta fill in that space a little bit better. You know, I should probably get around it. I probably went a little bit too far on this, a little bit too far. Keep that right there, I think. I don't want leaning too far, like Leaning Tower of Pisa. I'll be seeing that this summer. Be going to Tuscany to paint. That'll be fun. All right. We're not going to be, you know, got the burns there. I'm going to go through the blues up here. The blue, definitely not a whole lot of places for it yet. It's one of those things. One of the things I don't want on this thing too is tangents. I don't want this fence here to end up at the same point as the ground back in here. So I'm going to bring the ground down a little bit farther in that area. Always looking for those little things that can really throw a painting off. I don't really, you know, I see it probably at the bottom of the painting here and some of the dirt. This is blue and oxide or light. No, not transparent. Just red oxide red light. Just a little bit of blue in there. You might. There's a puddle right in the middle here. Trying to get just a little bit of blue into that. Okay, that's good enough. The red side might have more to do with this painting. I'm just going to push the red, warm it up just a hair more. It's just a little bit not doing anything. I'm thinking that's going to go in here, into the dirt area here. Definitely, don't want this thing to run too straight across. I want to have it, you know, bend a little bit, or it's just be a little boring. The grass line and the gravel. And these are still no white in these colors. And it just takes a little bit of building. I'm going to put a little bit of this red into the green where I want the green. That's why I'm putting it in like this, really just scraping it in. Okay. Also, I'm going to take this color. I know I put burnt sienna. I've tried a few colors trying to get something right in here that was going to glow into that space. That warm red will do it. Oh. That'll take me into these areas. A little bit better than it was. Then you got that building on the back edge too, just hitting a few spots.
Jim, what color did you use for the dirt section near the water?
Down here,
Yes.
oxide red and blue. More on the oxide red side.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Just a little bit of a mess. I want to make also when you're doing this, you know, make sure it moves a little bit more than it does in the photo. There's a little more ups and downs on it. It will be more interesting than a flat line. A flat line is kind of kills it. So giving a little bit of fun. I'm just going to leave it like that for now. I'm going to also, while I'm here, I see it. A little bit of red in here, which will be good because it will bring this, grab this red. Here, I will grab both reds. And this one will swing you back around into the painting again when this this takes you off, this will grab it and bring you back in. So look for like that. Right there. Okay. Also, I'm going to look for it into the dirt area here, just more towards the back by the barn. There's a little bit of more where it's showing up. I see it right there. So anywhere near that edge of the barn, you can see that dirt even pushed up on the barn here. You know, that would be the color I would probably start with throwing up there. But as you can see, I'm kind of just taking it easy. I'll probably have to paint it a few times to go over this area a few times with some color, make it work right. I can bring it back around there too, because it's a nice little dark area back in here that can kind of pulls you back in a little bit. All right, that's class. We'll see you guys later. Oh, yeah, it's a good place to stop, isn't it? No one will. No. But it's an interesting thing. I've shown a few people how to do the palette knife, and some people have grabbed it and made it theirs and that's what they do is palette knife. So it can be cool. So we're still working with oxide red and blue. This is only our fourth color. I would definitely take some of this stuff up here and maybe bring it down a little bit. I know I'm going to have some other colors up here. It's going to be more red and stuff. I don't want it quite that heavy. So I got to scrape it and push it. Now, if I was doing it with a brush, I would have been done by now. This would be done, really pretty quickly. I'm not using any oil either. That's the thing. I might darken in this backside here with a little bit of blue. I'm thinking. Trying to get the shading right, or so it turns a little bit. So keeping this side a little cooler because it's catching a little bit more reflective sky color. So I was kind of going, maybe I'll just put that in. Okay, now we're going to get out of here, get going. I don't got to put any like phthalo green and blues in here, am I? If I was going to do it, I'd probably put in the grass area. I don't see it. Maybe into the fence a little bit. Okay, that's enough. In the grass over here. This is just on the green side. Let's get it moving. I don't try and lose the edge of the fence at this edge too, a little bit, because I don't want too much. All right. I'm not going to use the blue in the thing. Okay. Next color is the phthalo green and oxide red. I would say you're going to find that into a little bit into the pond, but mostly in the green grass a little bit. And then at this value, probably not too many other places. The red side, I would say I like this color. I think I like the warmth of it compared to the oxide and the blue. So I was thinking about this color mostly in this area of the barn, the white area, lower part where the cows have been brushing up against it here. So here and over here. So definitely you could probably put it in some of this front fence again. This fence will start to fill in. Right now, we don't, there's no colors there yet. Might put it in the front area too, a little bit of this dirt where the cow is standing right in here. On this little dirt area here, just put that warmth of the green and not red oxide together. Right on the edge where the grass is, right above the grass. Okay. There we go. We got a mess. Nice, beautiful mess going on. We're going to drop down now to the other values here. I'm just dropping straight down and going with the phthalo green and oxide red with the white in it to about an 8. Definitely, I thought maybe it was going to end up right in here. And you can start to see when you add white to the paint, definitely how fast it goes on, just a little bit different. I'm going to put that in the lower sections, work it up. I see it's kind of a little bit warmer at the bottom here. The thing is, I'm trying not to get rid of all this kind of stuff. When I do run over another color, not just going to just run right up, pull that right over, paying attention a little bit and keep that going. Looking at this color, where else could go? I think down here in the dirt, it's going to start hitting really strong in this area. And these back areas of these spots. So, really just trying to figure out.
What color is that, Jim?
This is phthalo green, oxide red light. On the oxide red light side with white in it to about an 8.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm first row. Starting the second row colors, just going straight down to the green though underneath, and just losing it. I'm just going to keep that there and run through these things. Okay. I'm going to use it for the door. There's a door right in the middle here of this thing. It's really off center, so I'm going to make sure I might put it right here behind this thing. I don't want it to be, like I said, I don't want this door in of the building here. I can slide it over a little bit. No one will know. I just don't want these two running into the same line. Big no-nos, little things. And then this door back in here, I can probably slide him over a little bit then. Okay. Now I might try a little bit on the green side on top here a little bit. Going heading over to the green side really pretty quickly. This green, I wonder where I probably could put it in. I know it goes in the grass, right? And I'm sure I should probably add a little bit of yellow to it at the end to get this to feel like grass. But hey, we'll see. We'll get there. Everything in the background is like a value lighter than what we got here. So don't want to be using it directly for the background, the grasses and stuff back there, because I already put them in lightly to the right value, so I don't want to jump too far. Definitely, maybe I can start to make a line here. You know, of this color going across. One thing, if you put this on here and put regular pressure on it, you know, constant pressure, and you can draw it. If you pull with your shoulder, you can pretty much make a straight line. And that's the cool thing, is just finding a way to make a straight line in painting without that feels natural. Okay. As you can see, it's all of a sudden now it's just a few things starting to feel better. I'm gonna go and start the barn color now. That will help. I'm gonna shoot back down here to my alizarin and oxide red, full strength, full color. Because when I put in this line, I could see that if I go pretty much straight up with this color, it's going to be down in here. This is at the dark area of the color. I just want to get it right down to the bottom here, and only use it in this, you know, this mode at this strength here. Gonna go a little lighter though right there too, isn't it? But it's great when you have straight edges like this. I mean, that's when it's really works great.
Jim, which color did you start with?
I'm starting with the blue and oxide, or blue, sorry, alizarin and oxide red light.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. I'm going to take that up a little bit. And one of the things, I'm going to keep it a little bit more alizarin on this side. I see it right over here. It's just a little cool right in this area here. So I'm going to push, even take, this is just pure alizarin. I'm going to take and put in my knife now. And bring that back in here into the color on that side. I'm going to keep it a touch warmer. That will make this side warmer again. So orangey. Did I put no oxide red? Well, I'll just leave it there. Okay, up top. Yeah, I'm going to go do the same thing up top, I think, too. Just bringing down into just the shadow area. You know, like foot or so. It has to come down pretty in here. And that's just on the alizarin side, on this side of the barn. Right up to the roof. I mean, you can even do the roof line if you wanted, and that probably would not even make a difference. And I'm just going to do it a little bit more on the oxide red side, right on into here. I gotta get the angles right. It's okay too. One of the great things about this, even when your perspective's off, it's just the barn's just happens to be falling down, you know. That's where they do. I might keep it a little bit little bit more lizard-y. If I was doing this, working on the side of the barn over here, I got that blue in there, and then I'm just going to go really on the alizarin side on this side of the barn. I'm going to take it back just right there. Just scrape it up a little bit. And you can start to see where, you know, how it's going to work here. Did not really, probably didn't make light enough glare side there, but I think I'll have some colors. All right. Now I'm going to go slide over a little bit. I'm not going to go with that orange yet. That's a little too warm. I'm going to go with a alizarin, and I think this is alizarin and orange. But I'm not going with the orange and oxide red. I think that's just going to be a little bit bright. Too early to put it in. I could see it in places. So this is on the alizarin side just again. I probably should be working it a little bit more towards this side of the barn. And then the orange side. Right in here, pushing that back onto this side, coming to the middle. I'm going to use that right on the line. Oh, not right on the line. All right. See, just like that. Got a nice block in, almost. I can make this, I can start to design a little bit better, make this guy a little bit tight, smaller, a little bit big on this that guy. All right. We can go cut down. I'm going to drop down and go to my ones where I added just a little bit of white to them. This is like full strength. The ones I use white to, I'm gonna use this is that oxide. I was thinking about this on this building back in here, just trying to keep it from coming forward by using it with just a little bit of white in it. So it doesn't pop forward too much at that point. I was thinking, let's see, this is oxide red and alizarin. This is on the alizarin side with just a little bit of white in it. And I was just trying to see if I could get it into this. If it was going to go into this area nice. Not right. Needs to be more orange. Let's see if this works better. That worked better. This is oxide red and orange with white. Coming in that side of the building. I'm going to put some blues coming into that too. We're going to leave that there. Okay. I got that real rich color underneath now. So now I'm going to put the aging on. That's just a little bit of white to it right now. Maybe a few spots. Maybe I'll put in something else, but right now I'm just going to add, go to the, just a little bit of white added to my colors. Drawing them straight down. I'm going to use the splitting the barn with that line, where that line is. So I can just, it's not a huge length to draw down. So I can just have a few nice draws with that. Switch colors and stuff. So I can get some more warmth on one side over here again. And just break those lines here. I got tippy on. Come up top. Start right underneath that hay door up there. I'm using the alizarin and orange here a little higher. Just going to try and take the paint straight up. And just, I'll just build it a little bit and lighten it. I don't want to lighten it too much that it feels like there's just a bulge in it. But it can go a little richer. That's the thing. It's one of those things. Instead of adding too much more white, maybe I can just do it with just some richness of color over that. Look for some richness over here.
Jim,
Yeah.
the lighter red color is the orange and the alizarin crimson with yellow. I don't know how I got that.
The lighter red color was not yellow, orange.
So it's alizarin crimson and
Orange.
orange. Oh,
That's what I was using.
okay.
That's what these colors are. If it is almost probably for me, it's almost the same thing as my CAD red light. Coming in here too.
Okay.
All right. Fingers too also count. All right. I need to straighten this barn out a little bit more. I'm just trying to, I'm at that angle. It looks okay. And every time I change my angle and come back, it looks a little cockeyed. So I apologize. I'll but it's an easy it's an easy change. It's an easy fix. So. There's a little shadow on that guy. More shadow on this guy coming over. That's the thing, is paint starts to build up. All of a sudden you start to think you got spots in your paint because of all the it's all the glare hitting your spots in your painting. All right, I'm just gonna say that's a pretty decent start. Yeah, it doesn't look like the photo. The photo is a lot lighter than really what the painting is, or the thing is. And I can always bring it. It needs to come down a few spots, but not everywhere. Sometimes you just need to pick out a board, lighten them up. That's a nice thing of it. This is pretty much, they all go all the way to the halfway point. So breaking it there was good. Okay. A little bit too blue coming in there. Okay. Let's go straight down and let's work on that, on the barn. I want to get some of the warmth back in there. So I'm going to go burnt umber and blue and white and work that in just again at the bottom, just a little higher before I go to my light color. Just want to get a little more tone in here to grab onto. Might even use it over on this fence here, see what the difference is between this between burnt umber and blue, the burnt umber side, and phthalo green and oxide red. So I have that underneath. Now I'm putting on top of that line, on top of the fence here, going down. That is the burnt umber side. So you see there is a quite little bit of difference in the shading and stuff. So it's gonna be nice. That'll work. I'm kind of going in the wrong direction, but let's just straighten it out that way at the end. Since I have that color, you gotta kind of just keep going with it a little bit. See if it fits in this pond here a little bit. Well, puddle, not pond, but okay. I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna lean this back a little bit too, this corner. Okay, set just a little bit more. All right. Looking at this, I'm going to put in some blues. Let's see how bright it is. This is purple blue. This is what I would be going to be using up here at the sky. Would be this color here. I'll be putting it up way up there. And then I'll be coming down. This is the other blue, but this is going to be taking up most of the blue up here. It's a lot big spot. And then I was going to work my way down to a lighter step of blue. right above the things here. When I get to that, that's pretty much going to tell me everything. That's what I was thinking. Now I'm going to try, now I know that, I'm going to try and use it here. Just a hair. Needs to be a little bit more red. I'm going to add just a little alizarin and orange color to it. Ooh, turned a little pinky. There we go. That's probably about right. So this is sky color. I use right here. This is the sky color. The low light version I made. I just took a piece of that and added alizarin and orange with white in it to it. And that's really close to what I need. I'm gonna bring that down, work that down. I want the two mix, and again, it's just a straight vertical stroke because I want the two to mix vertically. And then I'll put the cleaner paint up towards the top.
Jim, I'm sorry, but what color is that?
This color is blue, a little bit of alizarin, a little touch of orange in it.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, with white, tons of white, and that's more for the cool areas here too. And then it gets over on this guy. Yeah, it's not going to come in as much. At least I filled that one in a little bit, made it a little funky. I want to mix it in so it darkens in. So it's a really great effect for barns. That's one of the reasons I thought we picked a barn, because I know it's great for barn wood and that kind of stuff. Not too great for cows, but it's good for barn wood. And also you're going to find it right here on that roof here. Just a little bit more, oops, got a little purple in it. I'm going to use it there too. I got it. Okay. Let this come over just a little bit bigger. I gotta get the cow in this area at some point. Okay. So a lot of good stuff going on in the barn. Probably could go lighter and could mean brighter and some cleaner areas yet. But I would say the one little areas to concentrate on to keeping clean would be the white area. And that's not even that white. That value is really like a 5, 4 at the lightest, right? So don't get too bright with that. There's some burnt umber and blue here I'm putting into this door here. There's a door right behind these cows. This shed right there. Yeah, in fact, I like that. I'll leave that. Okay. Like I said, putting in the lines. Now I go back in. Carve in the lines of the doors. And really, I'm not moving. I'm just going straight up and down, up and down. I'm not moving too much. I mean, just really just same line, just kind of blending it in. But when I pull my knife off, one of the things that happens is it's gonna leave a nice clean edge too. Sometimes you just got to work it in to get the color to come out of the knife. When it starts to show, then you can know, you can. There we go. Okay. All right, let's finish the barn. We just have to do little things now. I would say this has become a kind of this squeegee here has become a nice handy tool for this stuff. Just you can put it in there and just rub it a little bit, get it to stay in one spot. Come on. You can make that line pretty nice and easy. I also do it with my knife. I always do it a lot with my knife, but all right. Now I got the paint out of there. I'm going to put in some colors. Basically, I'm going to use a little bit of phthalo green and blue, purple, red, alizarin, and just a little bit of white. The nice thing is this line has been kind of like made for me, and I just have to follow. It follows it pretty nicely. I went with alizarin, phthalo green, and I'm going to put just a little bit of warmth on top of it with oxide red and phthalo green. Oxide red is really a great color. Oxide red on the red side. And then what I find is I just can drop in, my knife in these spots or, run them together. But usually I don't have to do much. Then I got the smaller knife for these little areas. You just put a little shadow there. I use oxide red and light and phthalo green on the red side. Definitely on the red side against this stuff. That's what I'll be using. I use for a lot of the shadows. White right here. No white in it at all. Just putting it in those lines and any lines, especially when you got doors open like this. It could be that. It could be. This isn't open. That's just shut. Okay. And I'm just going to use this knife, a little smaller one. Wait, before I use that, I'm going to use my my erase tool and go back in and erase out a few things. No, I can't do that yet. It's too soon. Sorry. Talking, thinking, and I got to put in the. I'm going to put in the. Keep going with the shadow lines. Like, I got to put this one going across here in the middle. Just went a little high, so I'm going to get it pushing back down a little bit. This is where the being precise really makes a difference in making how good these things can be when you have one line that looks great. I'm just going to use that brown I put in and just push it up here a little bit on the top there. And then try again. Thinking I was going to use the eraser, but I think this knife here is about the right size for some of these windows. If I wanted to put them in. And then these two up here go right in between those guys. I can scratch it out. A little bit more. Okay. Let's see what color I'm going to use here. It's a little dark. Let me try the lighter version. This is phthalo green and oxide red. Phthalo green with white in it. Second tier white, so it's just a little bit lighter. Maybe on the green side. You can mix the two, just a touch more green into it. Yeah. I'm just going to draw it down. Just going to draw this thing right down. I'm not using the whole knife. I'm just using really the top half of the knife. Trying to get a little bit of muscle memory in there, so I'm pushing the same on each one of those things. Then come back and make sure I got this one a little bit more. Okay. So this one just needs a little more light on it. Okay, as I go now, I'm going to go back to these lighter medium tones. Didn't use a few of these things yet. Got to start building the puddle down here. Looks like oxide red and blue are going to be the main colors down in here. Don't forget the building into the pot. Into this puddle. It's going to be a little bit of a reflection of that in there. It's too, see, when it's too bright, push it again, till you get the right value. Too light. It's not going to work. Too dark, too light. Okay. To be lightened. Okay. I just put in this little background here. Basically, all I used was a little more phthalo green oxide red mix down with white down to a lower value, about a 4. And then I put just a little cat orange into it. And just to warm it up. Because I didn't and then I'm coming back here to just touch it up, this land here, separate out a piece here so it's not one color. And then let little bit of mixes here happen together. Okay, that cat orange, definitely. I'm gonna take, I don't really have any warmth for this midsection of the gravel or dirt here. At least everything got a little too cool. So right in here before we put in the guys, So I'm putting in just a little cad orange into my oxide red now mix and phthalo green mix. Just to get a kind of a little bit of warmth here. Might have went just a touch too much on this edge. Again, just leave it a little soft in between. You know, and then try to find a, you know, I figure I could get a few spots back in here with it too, so it's not all alone. Tops of the trees back in here. Going with a little bit of oxide red and blue mix, just to give the tops of the trees. This might be on the red side too. Yeah, it is on the red side. Now using these things to start to tighten it up. This is kind of almost like just a gray. Just putting a little bit on the edge here. Okay. Now I got that orange out. Now I can add just a little bit more orange to it and see if I can get some grass. Orange to my green, light green here I have. And it might be, yeah, might have went just a touch too. Okay, let me try it. Oh, it's not bad at all. It's interesting. It will work. That's the thing, is trying not to use cad yellow too much in it, because it's just, I think it's going to be too overpowering and add a lot of light in here. I'm just going to push these things right down where I think the edge line is. I'll push it up a little bit at the end here, trying to get me into up and out of here to connect grass and everything together by also working on this guy. He's a little dark yet. No, he needs some value changes. We use some sky in here into this guy and just drag it down about halfway. Release. Some areas here might come down just a little bit farther. I'm doing my basic tone. Now I'll put in the posts, thinking about, now I'll put in, I need to come down a little bit farther in some places because it's just too even. And I'll drag it just a quick across thing here, because they're all like vertical strokes, and then really they're going to end up being horizontal strokes. Trying not to do a lot of mixing. I might bring just a touch of red into it. And right in the middle, there's a few boards here, red, orange, or something like that from the barn. You know, like this, just to get that into this area too. Because I have it there. I definitely, when you start putting it in there, you can smell. I definitely could get into this this dirt here. Then I'll put in pull out what I need, and we'll put in the cow real quick. Don't want to leave you guys cowless on this farm. But I'll just be going through and just using my tones here. Definitely want to make sure I got, this is one of the nice little areas to talk about. I have a black square here. I want to put a pole under in this. And what I want to do is make sure that when I put this pole in, it's either on 1/3 or 2/3 of this square. I don't want to put it in the middle. I want to put it on 1/3 side of that square, back in there, leading and stuff, instead of straight in the middle. Always looking for little things like that in a painting. And getting one more over here too, sort of thing. Even though it does not there, let's put one in to break it up. Lines again, you have oxide red and alizarin, or oxide red and phthalo green. You can use them as your line here. Just put in a bunch. Usually the thing is when I put these guys in, I just let the paint come off. I don't over think about it. I'm just going to let it come off. If it comes off in the right line, that's what it's supposed to be. If it comes off too much, that's what it's supposed to be. Now, then there's always a lot of little things that go on yet. I'm gonna blend these two together a little bit. But as you can see, the colors and stuff are coming along pretty well. If I bring the lights in over here a little bit, it starts to take shape. Except for you when you hit the building. Little farm accident there. I just keep bringing it back in. That's what I'll be doing with the blues and things, bringing those guys in, finding little details. The great thing about this is, if you realize that, you really can't put in all the details the way you would with a brush. So if you do it, make it, you have to go almost, get the essences of the things, get those little gestures. So the cow is going to go in here. I'm going to keep his head probably right there, breaking this line. I'm going to bring him over just a little bit. And his back's going to go back in here. So he's a square. I'm going to try to stop him right before he doesn't line up with this thing. He can stop there. And then just basically a square, sign, or a rectangle. Just round off the back bum a little bit. They are, I said a square which is right, because where he splits in half, his feet come straight, pretty much straight down, and they come all about the same length as his body. So, and that's too long. That or a little shorter, but usually right around there. And little skinny legs compared to the big old square body. Just give them a little bit of, you're going to have one that kind of goes straight down and carries the weight. The other one, just kick it out a little bit to the sides, so we don't, they have a little bit of weight adjustment. Okay. Head. There you go. Just like that. Get the big old chest bump right there. Okay. Well, too much thinking about this way back a little bit. And then the other one goes back in here, just a little bit of light. Just drawing it in, that's a great way to do it. That really keeps everything kind of going together. Same. Just the slight detail. All right, so at least I have the cows placed. They're going to add a lot of things to it. People wanted me to throw chickens in too. Are pretty easy to do, but they're easier to do with a brush than they are with a knife. So let's concentrate on this. We're almost done. Well, not done, but we're almost done with class. So I want to get this guy in. So I'm going to go in with the darks, big shapes. I'm starting with alizarin and phthalo green on the alizarin side. So it's a little red purple. Now I'm going to get the big shape here. See how dark that is? Coming down to his belly. So, and then coming around his neck. Not like a horse. It's pretty much doesn't have much of an angle. Kind of just goes straight. And then into the ears and side of the face. That's why I like the tip on these things. This is my brush and my knife, because I can get it in here and it does draw. It's like at this point I can really use it as a drawing tool. It's not too wide. Nice spade bit. So that's him. Then behind him, which will help be nice, is this another cow. And that'll be nice. I'm going to lighten him up a little bit. I'm going to do him more in oxide red and blue. Just, not much white into it. And he'll be nice to, get this guy to pop out. Since I took a few minutes in class here, I was going to just make sure I got this covered for you. I can't see too much of that cow. This guy's pretty good. He's just probably too light, but it's not bad. Sometimes, they can also put a tail in there. He could be just a hair warmer, but that's okay. So let's get this guy finished up and I'll let you guys go. I'm going to go with probably oxide red and green, which is really kind of weird, huh? With a lot of white in it for the basic tone. Maybe just a touch of orange in it. Just a little bit on, it's on the red side. Just a little bit of orange into it. Just a hair scratch to give it some warmth. Yeah, this is a nice mid-tone for lights, for legs. It's almost the same color that the ground is. It's which is weird, huh? Who would have thought? And after you've spent all this time doing all this work, then you can put the gate across it. You don't even have to put the gate there. You can put the gates everywhere else. You don't have to put that one across. You're spending a lot of time on this guy. Maybe you don't do that. We can just paint it without the gate and then we'll be just good. So I'm going in with a mid-tone of oxide red or phthalo green and alizarin with white. And that was on the alizarin side. And that's just going to be my tone. Probably as far as I can go with this. But if I wanted to put in the gates, I'd definitely come back with the reds. And I'll put them in here. I don't think they need to go both places. I think it's probably going to be kind of weird. I'm going to split this again. And there's no reason to have to make too many of these lines. But back in here, they're just so thin. You got to get 4 or 3 in there. If you get 3 in there, you're great. And you get them going back behind the barn. That'll give you enough idea of what's going on. That's good enough. When you're getting the details in with your knife, it's always going to be a little tough. It'll be yeah, I'm not going to put that thing in at all because that's just I'm going to try and make this cow work. Make this cow work, maybe create a path or something in here, with some dirt or something, just to get this guy out so he can get through there if he wants, walk it down, smoosh it down. That's good enough. In fact, that's probably a better design, in fact. Keeps get you in there, and then you get to work around here, and that way I can get back in here and all that stuff back there can be interesting instead of just covered up by a fence. All right, I'll bring it in, and you can see I'll finish it up. I'm definitely going to finish it up and get the cow in there a little bit more. It doesn't really show right now, and you can start to see what's going on, kind of the layering of the colors. Also, you want to just a little couple lines dropped in with your knife, verticals. What you want to do here when you do those, you don't want to do them all the same. You want them broken up. You want to, one can be long and then the next one skinny, a dot, and then the smaller one and then a big one. So the lines stagger in here if you're going to get those guys in. You want to do that. And I got to just work the color in the back and then figure out the side a little bit more. And that's it for me. All right, and for you guys, turn on your things. Let's see what you did. What we got? Oh, Anne Marie, let's see what she did. How you doing?
Hi.
How you doing, girl?
Good. I'm actually about to depart for the vet for the children's appointments, but I I
Okay.
did a block-in,
Okay.
basic block-in.
Oh, nice. Did you really use knife?
I
Did
did.
you did? That's
Yeah,
really
just knife.
cool. Really good job on that barn. Nice job. I love the tilt, the bending on it and stuff. That's really nice. You made it more
I
you made it more interesting.
I have to put that other building behind it. I didn't do that yet. Well, I mean, it's just basic block,
Right.
but I like the colors on the barn, and
They're red.
so I will proceed.
Okay. That's great. Congratulations on even getting a block in and done at this stage.
Okay.
And get those cows in there. That'll be fun.
I mixed up a really cool deep purple.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of looking forward to cows. Moo.
Moo. Moo time. All right. We'll have fun at the vet.
Okay.
All right.
Bye,
We'll
everybody.
see ya. Cindy, you're up. No Oh, she's not even gonna talk to us. She's just to say,
All right.
I don't blame you, Cindy. Oh, Cindy, that's nice.
I really like the barn.
Yeah.
More paint on me than on the canvas right now, but
Uh-huh. Oh, you're painting on canvas too, right?
yeah, on the canvas, right?
The stretched one. How's that going? I mean, you can really kind of get a lot of texture.
Well, I like the bounce of canvas. I
Yeah.
have some of your linen things too, and I use both of them, but I thought I was gonna wreck this one so bad, so I used a canvas instead of the linen one. But
Right.
I do like to paint on canvas because of the bounce.
Yeah. I like that. That's a really good. Your colors are coming along really well on that. And I love the textures going in there. I mean, that's going into the barn. It's, you don't have to do hardly anything more to it. I wouldn't even, just make sure you don't have too many perfect squares and stuff, like at the door, the dark door down below.
This one or that?
No, yeah, that one's almost just too perfect.
Okay.
Also, watch where the fence and the door line up. Move one.
Take this back a little bit. Yeah.
Either
Back
take,
there?
yeah,
Or pull it
or
forward.
forward. Yeah, you can't have it. You can line up in the middle of that shape of the door, but not don't line up right there. But that's okay. I like the way the treatment of the little building in the back too. That looks like a fun little building. Good. I'm glad you guys are having fun with the barn.
I love the barn. I just
Yeah.
love that. But
And take it as far as you can with the knife and see what else you can, get the straight lines, get that kind of stuff done, and make sure you get a feel for it. And then, try to work on the cows and just remember the texture of what's happening, and, see if you can use it later on in a painting.
okay.
Regular paintings. You don't have to save this, you can change. If you need to use the brush, go ahead and use it.
Okay, great. That's
Really
great.
good. Yeah, I love it.
I love the colors. Yeah. I
Yeah.
like. Thank you.
It's a great start. Okay, Jill. Let's see what Jill's doing today. How you doing, Jill?
You're muted.
Okay. Can you hear
There
me?
you go. Yeah, we got you.
All right. Hang on, I gotta get up.
Let's see this.
Gave a shot at it, so here it is.
Oh, that's hey, it's a solid beginning. It's a really solid, that's the thing about it, is just getting the paint in there, with a knife it's a little bit of a bear. But now, as you got the paint in there, now to add the texture, look at the effect on the boards on the light side of the barn, the white areas.
Yeah,
That's you can start to feel the barn area happening there. You can start to feel it. In the red, yeah, you're going to have to work that a little bit more because it's a little flat.
yeah.
And then that front fence, of course, the same thing. But when you get everything in there and don't work
Uh-huh.
so, it'll loosen up too. You don't have to be too exactly tight,
Yeah,
but
that's my issue.
that's okay. When you use a knife, don't worry about being too perfect. You did great straight lines. That's the tough part. Now it's the easy part is just getting the color in there, and those lines will soften up on their own just by
Yeah.
keep painting.
Yeah, I'll
Really,
work on it.
okay. It's a really great start.
I'm slow though, so I'm very slow. So,
Yeah, we'll give you a week. We'll see it next week.
all right.
All right. See
You
ya.
pass.
All right. Mindy. Hey, Mindy.
Jim. There it is.
Oh,
Darn.
look at that.
But yeah,
Oh my God, look, you can just tell at this point, it's just coming together so quick, so gorgeous. That's you aren't putting that in with a knife. Don't lie to me.
it's a little messy.
You put it in with a knife?
Yeah.
You put that in with a knife. Wow, that's
So
really
is this
clean.
big?
Is that clean or what? Yeah, I know, but you clean up all that stuff with the sky. Wow, that's really gorgeous so far. I love
I
the
can get it so clean with a knife. I'm just smearing it all over the place.
I know. Hey, I think she has something there.
Oh, jeez.
Definitely. Wait till she gets to the cow.
Yeah. That's the one with the brush.
Oh, that is really looking great though. I love the start of it.
Thanks.
And I know it's just going to come together. You can just tell by the way it's laying. You're tacking it. Oh, it looks great.
Oh, thanks.
Nice. I love it. Keep going.
All right, I will. Thanks.
Wow. That was clean. All right. Sarah, your turn, girl. Beat them all. You can beat them all, Sarah.
Very messy.
Whoa. Wow. You know what? I love that. I know you haven't finished painting the sky, but that looks like a cloud. That looks like one of those big, warm orange clouds. Oh, man. That's gorgeous. But, against that purple, I'm stealing that. If you aren't going to do it, I'm going to steal it. Wow, the colors in that are fabulous.
Yeah.
You're putting in so much color into the fence. And wow, that's really something. I love getting that warm green in there really pops that red out too. That's a nice little thing in the greens. I love the way you really took it easy on the background. You didn't try to overdo it. Wow, that's really cool. Congrats. You better be happy, but you're not.
It's fun.
I'm not kidding about that being like one of those just giant, big, puffy tornado clouds or something back there. That's orange is pretty cool against that purple you got back to that sky. That's looking really kind of cool. Takes it to a totally different place. And even if you did that, you probably wouldn't need to put cows in, but it's up to you. You're gonna have to do the front cow. You could just put in the back end of that one cow and that one, your squared areas there. That'd be kind of cool too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just letting you do this. I'm not letting anybody else do it. Everybody else has to put in all the cows. It's up to you though. If you have that plan, that'd be fabulous. That's really coming along good. I love that.
Thank you.
Oh man, finish it up. Watch the tipping edge in the one side, the right window, your window side of the thing. It might look like it cocks in and cocks back out. That's not too bad though. Even they're just soft note, just not quite so much. Just a little bit less. Really cool. I like that. I might steal that. I might have to steal that. That's good. You can put it down. I'm glad it's a nice one. I would like to see that finished. I didn't see that in mine though. I didn't see. I saw that in yours. I go, that's really nice. Love that warmth in there. Anyway. Yeah, I'll finish this up. You guys finish yours up. Put them up on the site, and we'll go through them again. least show off to the Monday night guys. You know, they got corn stalks to do and crows. So you get cows in the barn. So
Jim, I have to say, as much as I was crying that we were going to do this, I really did have fun. It was fun. You know, it's interesting, but it's hard, at least for me, I find it harder to control the paint. You know, it's just sort of doesn't always go where I want it to go, but it was really fun.
you're just too controlling too.
I know I am.
Yeah, this is supposed to loosen you up a little bit, and for you can't be too controlling. You know, the chaos is supposed to happen, then you know it's just you but you can control it. It is controllable, but it's a lot of fun. It can be a lot of fun to paint.
It's just, you just need to kind of get the hang of it, you know. It's sort of
Oh, so you want to do it again next week?
no, I wasn't saying that. But it was fun. You know, it was a lot. I mean, as much as I was crying about it, I think it was pretty much fun.
You were whining pretty heavily.
I know.
Even on Facebook, everybody's going, "What's her problem?"
Yeah.
He's just, Anyway, all right. Next week we were coming back and we're gonna paint. What haven't we painted yet? We got inside scene. We still got like an indoor scene. We
on cola
and some other thing. Oh, I guess that's it. We're out of here. So we'll figure it out. I'll let you guys know and send it. I'll try to keep sending them out a little early, maybe even earlier. You know, I'm sorry it took till Thursday till I got it out. Somebody needed it on Wednesday, and life happens sometimes. So finish these guys up, put them up, and we'll see you guys all next week. Have a great weekend.
Great. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.